Or was there something in the Sharks' play? We'll have to find out as we break into it. Not wasting any time here on the M80 side of things. Going to go in fast towards B. At least initially, it seems to be somewhat of a fake out, and it's working quite well. Wreck! Oh my lord, he's drawn them all in as well. The A bomb site completely open.
It's a ruse. Nobody here towards the A site. Wreck has done God's work. Really hasn't. Sin now drops that Molotov, stops one big rotation coming through. Now smoke will come at the feet of Doc, but he does actually get out. And he gets a kill. Hang on. Okay, Sin. One of his own, trying to catch him on the reload, potentially on the swing. Doc drive by, finds a kill. Oh my god, tap on towards the bomb. He might just think he's got a kill. Hang on a second, slaxz. Check this, slaxz. He hasn't. And Sharks are going to win the round. And Doc sees off the kill as well. Pros don't fake, as they say. And Doc delivers. That's a big round and a big response off a wreck 3K to open it up.
That's crazy. That is crazy. The fact that they're able to pull that one off, you know, it felt like it should absolutely have been their round with this three-piece in the beginning. And here's some of the giddiness we were talking about, you know, some of the scrap. It definitely happens. slaxz, though, will be kicking himself. That opportunity, if he just walks around the corner, is kind of given to him, really, but he was a bit apprehensive, as most players would be, you know? It is quite common to just tap the bomb, and the kits in pistol rounds a little rarer these days.
It's true, it's true. Everyone seems to be prioritizing that util these days. At the kit, got slightly overlooked, and maybe just, you know, that kind of timing mentally for slaxz. You know, I see a lot of people, like you said, tap, reface, try and find a fight. There was actually time to work with as well, so in a way, the stick traditionally wouldn't have been the right call, but it was. It was beautiful. Really well done. And of course, individually from him, great too. Facilitating the M4 investment. But of course, bomb plant, Rex 3K, that'll give him an AK. This is a, you know, it's a feasible buy. You can see how M80, they're just a little nervy. Not taking too much control, expecting overfights from the Sharks side. And they're not being given anything.
Slow upswing here. Nice nade. Oh my goodness, that is so much damage spread really nicely as well. Doc looking for a timing. Not sure that he's going to get it. Yeah, bested, and only a 1-for-1 in on the site itself. So it's actually a man advantage for M80 here. Bomb going to get planted open. Nobody around to deny that supLex. Got to be careful. Lucky to be alive. Lucky he didn't lose his head. What is the move now? Little 1-for-1 trade. However, it's just going to be Togs all of a sudden, and he is completely overwhelmed. M80 winning the force buy.
Yeah, good response. Really nice response as well. Just when they get that sight and when they start to get that bomb down, they were fumbling around a little bit because they were going for a boost, which ends up being kind of pretty useless in total. But at the same time, bomb goes down. That's all they need. And again, you know, a really decent spot to find yourself in. More question marks have to be asked about Sharks there and going forward on these retakes. Whether they have the confidence internally to go for it, but all things considered, that's a good response. We'll see a buy back in place for Sharks. That's the expectation, of course, as Doc starts to tick in that molly a little bit, so he's a known quantity. Another one will come through. He's going to slip the net, going to sneak out, finding a kill of his own, but in response over towards B, Swisher will deliver.
Oh, 5-7, up close though. Certainly going to make things difficult over here. He doesn't quite finish that player off. They still retain control of the B-bomb side itself, but the manpower not quite there. Molly forces a fight out from Jen, and another player spotted. Smoke going in, just trying to buy some time here. Flashes over the top are a little awkward, though. Looking good for the CT side, you know, 2 versus 2. Doc on a flank. It could be doable. It could be very doable. Indeed, a check comes in on that flank, though, and I think that might just, yeah, take the bite out of the retake here. Doc going to move to save and has to concede.
That'll be that. That will be that. I mean, close but no cigar, but it is now going to put M80 in a really strong position where they can spiral a little bit to start off with. We are seeing a couple of individuals get, you know, woken here. I mean, Sin's having his moments. Just good to see Wreck as well. Sometimes plays some pretty difficult roles, especially on the CT side, but at times on the T side as well when he's lurking around. But he's been given a lot to work with. This is all without malbs, you know, yet to get a kill, right? So it's only inevitable when this guy will come alive, wake up himself, and start to really, what he wants to, kind of beat the brakes off his opponent. So yeah, so far, so good. A couple of messy kills that come through for the pistols, but in the end, it's not that big of an issue. Early attack pause called here by Sharks. As they get back on the mic and start to have a little conversation. What's going right? What's going wrong? And I don't think there's anything to worry about at the moment. This is probably one of those instances where, you know, for Sharks, their coach, funny enough, named Coachy, great name, just wants to see what he spotted, see how they're playing, and see if he can give them any sort of advantage heading forward. But this probably won't be the round. Just a 5-7 to work with, minimal expectations from us.
Oh, the stack at the top of the ramp. Could get messy over here. slaxz is going to spot at least 3, and maybe the rest of the game is going to be up. After seeing all that, flash comes in, nobody around to really face it. And the return flash, also a little anticlimactic. We'll get some kills eventually. Here we go, slaxz going to open things up. And now the shooting range on both sides begins. An attempt to drop thwarted M80, moving up to 3.
Yeah. You know, there's maybe a world in which they're playing a little bit of a risky game, just sticking around for the fights there and prolonging their stay. But it doesn't really make too big of a difference. As long as it's not too expensive, that's all that we care about. And money in the pocket as well for the Mac 10 is a pretty good thing going forward. Especially for slaxz individually when he wants to pick up the AWP. Not going for it just yet, but soon come is the expectation. 3-1. Sharks back into buy. They have an AWP in the hands of supLex. What can they do with it? What can they wield? In this instance, Swish trying to just find a way up through B, and he might be given a bit of luxury as well. Lotov on the wood. Nobody close. One spot into his double stack as well. Not going to overfight. This is pretty good temperaments. They're just not overplaying their cards just yet.
Patience, isn't it, really, from M80? I think they too understand the pressure of this map. You know, Anubis is not fantastic. They would much rather avoid that if they can. I mean, you learn that you're facing off against Sharks. What are you going to do? You're going to get that Vertigo demo up against Vitality, aren't you? Like, you know, that's the first thing that you do with this team. So I think they will be at least somewhat prepared to the tendencies of Sharks here. A lot of damage coming in early on, though. 45 seconds. Slow creep up the ramp. Very, very cheeky indeed here. slaxz. Mac trying to lead the charge. Bit of an eyeball smoke. Lovely little wall put up by M80 here to allow the plant to come in. Doc was on high, but they're ready for him. Decent to deal with him after only finding one. Going for the open plant as well. Again, very risky stuff, but they get away with it. No spam comes their way. And a solid 4-on-4 to face off against.
Yeah, no molly either as well. Usually, tugs at one of his back pocket, but opts against dropping into that corner. Sin. As pop shots being taken against them, he's just tucked enough where it's not an issue. Now going to play up close behind this smoke. He might be tested in a second. DRG dropped. Sin. Malbs combining. The kills are pieces. Malbs doubles it down. And Reckle close. Only the one casualty. 4 remain alive. 4 rounds on the board. This is M80 cooking on all cylinders right now. And Sharks just don't really seem to have a response. And once again, Coach again on the mic here. Second tack pause used already, and he's getting pretty vocal. You don't blame him, right? This is a pretty important thing. It's not been a great start. They're looking a little on edge, let's call it, for the Shark side, and they're just making a couple of mistakes. It's very small incremental things where they're losing parts of the map, where they're allowing M80 just a little bit too much freedom. And you can see Coach getting a little bit angry about it, and I don't really blame him. I would be the same as the coach. Where on the other side, Def kind of got the easiest job in the world right now. Let's keep doing what you're doing. It's not being punished.
It's a lack of confidence, isn't there, from the Sharks, which I think is something that, again, is not really all that common within the region and within the way that we expect them to play. We expect them to be very, very forward-facing. And here we go, maybe a bit of that. Just getting a taste of it, getting a feel of it. What can they get away with, right? Very, very simple aggression, and it is to be expected when it's in a pistol round. You lack that utility and weaponry. But yeah, they're just sort of maybe seeing where the gaps lie in the default.
Close for slaxz. Only a pistol, but sometimes you take them all the same. Here it comes deep. We'll do a decent chunk of damage. Second one as well, but again, it's not really the biggest issue. He's just hoping for that shot. His dock up close is the only real worry in this situation. slaxz feels like he's aware of it. They don't go for the standard pot flash. Do they contact this? They clear. No, not effectively. That's going to be 2 for Doc. Oh, that's badly played. Not even cleared up close. Nobody's been holding it. And the fact he's given that luxury is crazy. slaxz will answer back, thankfully. But a 3v3 and already more expensive than M80.
Well, yeah, there is that. And there is also the fact that they are really far back with only 40 seconds. So it's not a great position for them to be in. It's not like they've traded those kills in a good spot. Again, though, going in for this contact ramp play, they've gotten away with it quite a few times. supLex, shoulder peeking. Swisher leading the charge. Good for one. Can he get any more here? Yes, indeed. It was actually a little bit of assistance from behind, but all the same, that should do it for the round.
Yeah, probably going to be that 5th on the board. Ardenners are going to get a potentially close for any sort of an exit. Couple are low, so might be a rifle to scoop up. At least make it a little bit more expensive himself. He's going to have a buy next round, so why not? But also, he does have full armor, and he does have HP, so is it worth it? I don't know. We'll see. He's spotted by Wreck, and he will tag him. That's something. Swisher up close. He will fall. That might be a gun to work if it is. And flash to come over too as he looks for more fight. Is slaxz to the AWP. He gets caught by the brunt of it. Wreck spotted. Running low on ammo. He's just trying to keep them close. And it might just work. slaxz sees him off. He should be okay to survive. Not a bit around for M80. Made to work for it, but all in all, a round again in their favor. Interesting to note as well that this being Sharks' pick, M80 have chosen to start T-side. And yeah, I mean, so far, so good. It's working well. They're playing some good Counter-Strike. They're setting the tempo very cleanly. I think they probably realized from past demos and their research, etc., that this isn't a great map in the fundamentals for Sharks. They just had, you know, when we saw that Vitality game, Vitality looked a little off the ball, but also I've got to give him his credit. DRG looked incredible. This guy was so confident on the CT side. But if they can find a way to counter him in particular, then they kind of already start to falter a tad. And that's what we're seeing thus far. This T side at 5-1. Not a bad spot to find yourself in.
Replays speaking for themselves on this one. Still, the kills coming through, I think, quite competitively from Sharks. It is just that conversion. It is just that finishing your dinner, as it were. Nothing is a nice way of putting it from the UK colloquialisms. They might get a chance here into this round, though. It was all on that fight, wasn't it? A quick 2-for-1. supLex absolutely needed to find that frag. What else is there in store here for that Shark side of things? Only the one on the site itself. The molly, burning him. He sticks around a little too long, just trying to catch a frag if it comes his way. Unfortunately, no peaks. 3 versus 3. M80 have played so well from this position in the past. Looking to do it again.
Swisher. Sneaking up close here. Where's the flash for the AWP? Won't miss his shot. slaxz delivers. Now the numbers in their favor. It's already started to feel do or die. Molotov aptly timed and placed. We'll stop that bomb going down, but slaxz just picking them off one by one. Couple of kills to his name. He isn't going to complain. His M80 really starting to make this look so easy. And do you know what? It's already getting to the point as well, you know, nothing's changing. Every single round, it's some level of an A contact play, and Sharks just cannot deal with it because they're just not winning out the raw 50-50s. You know, sometimes we like to speak about the macro game a lot, right? And talk about a lot of these kind of contingencies and these plans that teams bring. But if you just can't win out on your fundamentals and the raw 50-50, which is exactly the case right now, it doesn't really matter about the, you know, the bigger picture and the grand scope of things. This is a Shark side who just simply aren't hitting their shots at them.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. They're also playing very moth to flame, I think. Oh, I'll hold the point because we've got a nice spot here. Okay, never mind. Swisher is one step ahead. Wow. Yeah. But what I was going to say, they're very sort of, when the utility comes out, they'll react. They'll take a peek. They'll make a move. You know, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to catch a guy running in, or I'm going to try and timing him here. He might have another piece of utility, but it's much more calculated from M80. And I think this is something on a quick watch, on a quick what they like to do. M80 may well have figured that out, that it's like, okay, if we make some noise and show ourselves, they're going to respond. Like every time they're going to look for some kind of a response. It might be dry, there might be flashes, but they don't like sitting back and just letting us do our own thing and play in their spots. They just go in for the fights, and I think that that is very, very telegraphed, very readable at the moment for M80.
Yeah, I think you're right. Doc, AK in hand, sticking up close here as well. Wants to try and see if he can get any more on the tail end, and he will. There's one. That's all he'll get. Arguably as well, I might have been better off keeping hold of the AK, to be perfectly honest. 7-1. As the Brazilian side find themselves 6 rounds in the deficit. 7-1 a scoreline they know all too well about, unfortunately. It's just not looking too good right now. Sharks not showing up to play on their map pick, on what was an opportunity to take on M80. And right now, M80 are looking anything but uncomfortable. Back into a buy, of course. Lost bonus keeping this Shark side afloat. Buy in, lose, eco, rinse and repeat. But it's getting to a point where something drastic's got to change. It's already starting to get to a point of being too little too late. If we see M80 push to even towards 8 rounds, it could be quite a worrying part. And malbs for an opener.
Again, trying to make a move, trying to do something. Doc has been playing well, to be fair to him. Oh, that second nade, surely. Yep, gets the job done. Orp on the corner, I think, has also been spotted out. There you go. A response and a find for the CT side. Not sure that it's... Ooh, I was going to say necessarily going to be enough. However, we talked about these 50-50 straight up fights going against Sharks. Well, here we are. This is what happens when you're on the receiving end, M80. They definitely could pull this off, but surely Sharks will not be dropping this opportunity now.
Tetris opens the door for a fight, and a missed one by Sin. And a pretty good game so far, but he gets punished that time, thrusting slaxz into a 1v3, but a doable one is on the rotate away. Oh, that is out. Nearly got caught in transition, but doesn't. So a second round put on the board, but the first in a long time for Sharks. That is better. And again, like you were saying, right? On the receiving end of just a couple of lost aim duels, and before you know it, M80 under a bit of pressure. And it felt like it was okay for a moment. A couple of kills going their way, and you're thinking, okay, 5v3, but really decent response. Good rotations coming through, and that's a nice couple of shots. But M80 on the back foot for the first time, basically, this entire game. Like we said, with the rounds and arrears that they've been picking up time after time, they've got plenty of cash to work with. So buying back in. Molotov towards wood. Boosted be coming through here as well. So that would have been heard from Sin. Molotov as well. Nate going to come in towards double stack. Just about avoid the bulk of it, but Denizar will take a serious tag.
Oh, slaxz, that's what he was waiting for. Couldn't capitalize, though. It wasn't a, fully fledged peak, to be fair. Back off from the B-bomb site. Still a really good spot for M80. They want this follow-up round. They need to crush Sharks on this first map. So far, still on for that. Irenazao, good timing here with this position. Very, very solid stuff. Another goes down. Oh, slaxz with the unscope. A little panicky here from M80.
Hang on. Oh, slaxz had the right idea. Just a little asleep at the wheel as he'll get caught. Swisher, 1. That's 2. Hang on. Maybe something to work with. Now, Swisher going to get 3. Hang on a moment. It might just open up a 1v2. Looking for an ace clutch as well. There's one's in headshot. As he peers around for the fight. Tags him, but he runs out of ammo. The last coming over as time was ticking. Swisher will be dropped. Whoa, he made something of that. It was close, but no cigar as Sharks a big sigh of relief.
Just needed one more with him. You know, that frag that brought it into the 2 versus 1. If it flips the other way, then they've stolen that round through and through. What a hero. Those double spray downs, man, they are not easy to connect. Yeah, it was just that moment there, wasn't it, really? That fight goes the other way, and M80 all of a sudden on the board. This is a really tense game, by the way. Like, timeouts coming out super, super early. Both teams have used 2 already. You know, we go through some games, even at this level, where teams feel, okay, we don't need to call them until we're either A, getting ruined, which maybe was the Sharks case, or B, it's super close. Some games, therefore, very rarely have more than 1 or 2. So, really, really intense here for these 2 teams.
Makes you think as well, right? There's a world that second half, if things start to go awry for any of these teams, they've got one more break to work with. Before you know it, it could be dead in the water. Still is a 4-round lead for M80, so not too much to worry about just yet, but I think precautions are there. I want to make sure that they really lock this lead in comfortably. Double stack going to be through mid. One playing up close, not a Togs. On construction, the other just behind him. He does lose his life. A little bit of a bait and switch. All holding. DRG has played this position before. Nade will come deep, and that could do a hell of a lot of damage, but actually goes for the elevated angle, and it doesn't do as much.
Albs charging in will get bested, but a quick trade out is exactly what the doctor ordered. DRG takes a nice position towards the sandbag, but it's not a full commitment here from M80. They're going to drop back.
Through mid. Bit of a move being played here by Rek, and he might just get some good timing. I don't think he would have heard Ardennes falling off, but there's a world. He's going to lead the charge here.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to get the timing here. It really depends. With 3 of them alive, you'd assume they go for a straight hold, but no, they are just going to tap it. Yeah, and now they're like, okay, where the heck is this guy? He can't be here. Molotov does reach. Oh, gets the player off it.
Okay.
Time is a little awkward. Oh, God, Togs does get on it. I mean, he's on like 1 HP at the end there. That's absolutely crazy how close it is. Thanks to that Molotov, if he just maybe held on like a second, it could have made a world of difference, but we'll never know. We'll never know. Still, lovely stuff from the Sharks as they continue to close the gap.
Yeah, Molly and a nade combo potentially, and who knows what could have been happening
Yeah,
there.
sure, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, again, I think it is another one of those sigh of relief time moments for Sharks. I mean, they're being made to work for these rounds. It goes without saying. But again, all that they really care about now off the back of a lackluster start is that they are getting them. That's the only thing that really matters. 7-4, back into an investment for M80. They do have a little bit of funds and reserves as well off the back of the bomb plant, but his deficit is dwindling. Bit by bit, it starts to close. 7-4, that's an aggressive push coming through from Doc, and he's going to get clipped by Swisher, who was aware, waiting, ready for that exact fight. So the opener going the way of M80, and they're going to pump the brakes off the back of it.
supLex. Oh, missed shot. However, his man covers him, sacrifices his life, but allows him to stay alive. They're going to keep losing numbers, though. slaxz with a find through the smoke. And supLex, I mean, what can you really do here? Yeah, slaxz was so ready for that. Here, NSL just going to move to save here. And it will indeed be the 8th. And final of the first half going the way of M80. I say save. He was moving to do that, wasn't he, guys? But it's the last round of the half, of course. That's when I was saying those numbers. I was like, wait a minute. But he was also a little bit autopilot-y. slaxz will take him down. No hero moment there. 8-4 at the turn of the half. M80, have they done enough? It certainly looks like it to me.
Breaking news, Sharks are on the ground here at EPL. Ignoring recent results, these boys are coming in hot after storming to an upset win over Payne in the South American qualifier. Doc finally hits the LAN servers in CS2. Schwabe Doc Ahmed finally... Not that Doc, different Doc. Is this one an onliner as well? He is. Okay. Well, in other news, I'm thrilled to announce the return of DRG. The legendary Zerg player just will not... Sorry, what? CS2, not StarCraft 2. Well, who's this DRG? Motherfucker looks like Steve Aoki. I can spin this.
Welcome back, everybody. Second half getting underway here. Sharks with a small revitalize into the tail end of that first, but I don't know, man. It just doesn't quite feel like they are here today. M80, the energy a little bit better. They certainly let things drop ever so slightly. Could have been a really disastrous half for the Sharks, but in the end, it comes a little closer. Still, I feel like they're in a winning position. That seems to be the way that they are playing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, M80, I think they would, regardless, they'll be happy with that 8-4. Considering as well, chose start on that T side. However, 8-4 isn't always a confirmed scoreline. We saw this happen yesterday, right? All it takes is a little bit of form before you know it. This sort of a half can flip on its head, especially in towards CS2. How quick it is to get a better tempo. And with Sharks being on the T side, all that would take from them here, bomb plan, and they can buy in towards the next and keep that sort of streak alive. Let's see. It was a decent response to the tail end from Sharks as well, in all fairness. It took them a while, a couple of attack pauses as well, but they got there in the end. They got competitive. Wreck spots a couple of sets of toes. Just going to drop away.
Double nade doesn't find anything. Utility out onto the site itself here. Molotov and the smoke. It is the usual business. Fake plant for the nade. Meanwhile, in towards mid, Togs does his job. Can the rest of the team answer in kind? Looking good. Doc for 2. I haven't got the bomb down yet. I think it has been spilled slightly, to be fair. All the same, the plant will come in now. 4 versus 2. Sin on the Julies. What can we do? A little bit of a retake. Attempted. Oh, Sin with the double kill. Brings it to even. USP at range, trying to find ahead. The one thing is the fact that the bomb is planted for the enemy, and of course, there's no kit here. There's no smoke. But a creep from Sin down the side takes the head of another at range. Oh, but Togs denies the recovery. A really important round for the Sharks.
Yeah, a wild one as well. Very back and forth. I mean, credit to Sin, even giving them an opportunity there when it felt like it was absolutely out of the realms of possibility. Oh, it's a sigh of relief again. I think this is the thing for Sharks. The vast majority of rounds they've had, basically, of this five, may I say, 4 of them are being, you know, so damn close, down to the wire. But again, all that matters is they do take it. They're chipping away at that deficit bomb plant. And the round itself going to mean the money to work with. M80 are opting for a force hit. Sin, FAMAS, upgraded pistols is all they've got around it. I think Swisher may have just spotted something. Nate being revved up, but won't do all too much as he dips back towards backside. He's the only man here towards B. He'll probably be testing the second, but at the very least, you're going to drop a smoke to keep them at bay.
Flash in for Swisher to take a little look. However, the smoke's still in the way. I'm going to confirm the position of a couple players with that move, however. So I think they'll, yeah, become more and more confident in a B hit. Going to stack the B bomb site. Smoke going down. They're opting to go through it. slaxz opens us up. There's actually, I believe, a little bit of help from the side. Either way, it's getting a bit wacky over here, isn't it? 5-7. Chimes in as well. Oh my goodness, an absolute mess in towards the B bomb side, but it looks like they might just be able to take it. supLex left in the 1v3, one out behind him. Oh my god, through the smoke he finds a kill, but he's denied, and the force buy win for M80 is huge.
Oh, absolute chaos. But yeah, that force buy is massive. It's a ballsy call by Sin as well, but a real nice couple of shots. This one, bit of fortune, right? There's no two ways about it. Full blind himself through a smoke, but you take him all the same. Him and malbs combining for a nice couple of kills apiece, and then that flank at that tail end with that FAMAS just getting the perfect timing. M80 bite back, find a knife. Much better investment for them, and much worse for the Sharks. Of course, they have to force. There's no two ways about it. In double eco territory, so they're more or less forced into it themselves. Tech 9s across the board, bar that one deagle. And even head arm is a luxury here. Only 2 out of 5 having it. Doc being one of them, and he's tagged down to 32. So already, that kind of nullifies that, but they're trying to get up close here. They might just do it on the swing. Oh, that's bad. And another pretty poor trade. A Sin only gets 1.
Yeesh, not looking good. They've recovered some weapons here as well, Neo. So slaxz on the off angle, got to guess correctly, and Renazar was ready for him. 4 versus 2. Just when everything was looking sunshine and roses, M80 may well have let things slip here. Just going to be down to Swisher. They know his position. 1 versus 3. Plant on the other side of the site, making a lot of noise. They've got all the info they need. He just has to defy the odds. Oh my god. This guy's spray transfers are insane. 1 too many for him this time.
A real key thing is obviously Sin only getting 1 is probably one of the more important ones. Another one though is Rek finds his kill and then pulls his knife out. Just doesn't expect him to be grouped up there, and he probably should have. This one here, right, finds a kill, pulls his knife out immediately afterwards. So they just trade him as he's crossing. It's simple as, yes, he's taking damage, but you think maybe with his sort of mechanics, might be able to do it. Final timeout going to be called here by Sharks as a reinvest back in for M80, which is, you know, obviously absolutely the requirement in these force buy wars. Tough one to lose though. It was considerably worse weaponry out for the Shark side. They made it work. Tech 9s, when they get running and gunning, they can be so damn difficult to stop.
Okay, let's see. M80 back round with a force of their own. It is getting kind of messy at the end of Vertigo. It's just the fact that M80 have got that comfortable cushion. But, I mean, you know, gap could close here pretty exponentially, bro. Sharks find this. take down everybody, make sure there's nobody saving, then you got an eco, and all of a sudden it's only one round. So, stressful times ahead. The force buy wars, often difficult to predict, however.
Well, 5-7s can be at times really a little bit problematic. I mean, they were last time with the combination of the Eagles. This time only a couple of Eagles, couple of 5-7s. One M4 for Rec. Gonna try and do everything it can. Looks like they want to gamble through B here. At least they were. One Molotov has drawn them back. Another Molotov comes back over, and Swisher will tick in it for a second. He's met with an 8. It's going to tough. Yeah, down he'll go. Nice little setup there by DRG and Doc. The combination of Utah is perfect. Doc as well. Trying to keep them drawn over here. He's doing exactly that.
Yeah, B site is completely open. Doc going to clear out as many angles as possible, look to join his teammates. And this may be what I was kind of talking about, M80 stacking up a bomb site and not going to find success there. They will eco and importantly take something into the next round to just, again, eke fear into Sharks, make every round look doable. But really, really solid from the Sharks. You know, this gap close has been slow going and has had a few hiccups in places. But, you know, we were 7-2 at one point. Looked like M80 really were just going to do enough in that first half. Sharks have only lost a couple since then, and a few of them may be a bit silly, but when it comes to the rifles, they have looked much, much better. That timeout, I think, is maybe the key one, you know, where Coachy gets in, little vocal, little animated, maybe indeed frustrated, knowing that his players are better than this. And it seems to have worked. It seems to have awoken something in them.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, when you do win out the force by wars, you get a hell of a lot of momentum to work with, which is exactly going to be the case here. So, good work, good stuff indeed. 2 rounds in it. But a throwaway round here for M80, meaning that a decent chance at Sharks finding an 8th without taking too much financial damage. I say this though, they're taking B stairs basically immediately as 2 of the better weapons in this direction. Rec boosted up on double stack looking towards me. It's a great angle. Traditionally only a 1 and done, but if Tox goes exploring, there's a world. He might get caught. It's not exactly an angle you really clear all too often.
DRG leading the Vanguard over here. They're going to silently, or as silently as they can, drop off of double. You know, they might have gotten away with something if they'd stuck around. Unfortunately, Sharks have done a very good job of being sneaky, but now the presence is shown. That M4 immediately back round to the B-bomb site here. Smoke to slow them down. And Sharks, they will pull away. They will second guess it.
Well, playing up close again. Gonna try and do something. They're gambling, and I guess now are gambling wrong as it all goes quiet. There's got to be a little inkling at the very least that maybe something's heading towards A, but the OG's making steps, and that for me is what's keeping the bulk of the attention drawn here. Just the odd little step as if he was kind of jiggle peeking in a Molotov too. Get around this corner. Oh my god. slaxz catches in midair, rips his head off, nobody else there, and they rush back towards A, but they're too little, too late. Site's going to be taken, bomb will go down, and there's nobody there to stop them.
Yeah, not sure if you throw yourself at this or not, to be fair. That M4, see what it can get done here. Oh, 2 very quick kills. However, trades may well indeed be too much to deal with. We'll see. 2 versus 1. A lack of armor for Swisher. A Mac 10. You know, they just try and have to use the numbers here. supLex taking the fights, does well for the first, spotted out the second now as well, and can just control this engagement. No kit available for Sin. And they've done very, very well here on the Shark side to actually recover this one back. It was briefly into a 5 versus 2 situation, but the kills come in for the Shark side. Doc and supLex bailing them out.
Terrorists win.
Any upgrades for Sin would be nice, but even having a Galil isn't the worst thing in the world. There's no more attack pauses to work with if you are the Shark side, but like you said, good for them to recover it. More expensive than they probably would hope. But again, now making it only a one-round game, it is game absolutely on. Buy to be brought back in for M80 and such an important one. You don't win it. You've got Sharks with the real potential of pushing basically all the way up to double digits before a response. Oh, missed Molotov by Wreck there as well. Just jumped a little too early, so he doesn't get the height to go over the wood to throw the molly. Either way, 9-8 scoreline with Sharks in reaching distance. This is the most important one they've had, and if they get this as well, a little 2-for-1 special. A 9th as well, basically means a 10th with that lesser investment. Would be a really good spot to find yourself in.
Oh, difficult spray down. See ya, it's malbs though, in for the double kill. There's a team kill in there as well. Oh, yikes. That's really not good. Really not good. They trade him out, but malbs has done God's work with the aggressive swing. M80 just needed the guns in hand, just needed some confidence, laying down the law. Irena's out. Good timing. Oh, can't secure the kill though. And he's not going to be ready for a second player in a gap either. Yep, caught off on a missed timing because he just wasn't expecting that player and flanked out from behind. Nothing that he can do in that position. Double digits for M80 and their first rifle picked up, of course.
Yeah, and you know, it's such an important time to come alive. Just on the back of them kind of rekindling their funds a little bit, off the back of a really janky force by Wars. Good for them to find it back in. That team kill in place there, but then as was rough. That kind of does cost them a little bit. Numbers-wise, especially in the 1v3. Big Oskin not able to deliver. 10-8. M80 first had to crack into double digits. We said it was the inherent risk in round number 18. If Sharks found it, they would be that first side hitting 10. M80 had other plans. Needs a neutral to come through. A hell of a lot being done here as well. Spam the corner. That's good. malbs knows his angles. My God, he's hitting a shot as well. The Magic Man continuing to deliver frags. More damage dealt, but he will be finally traded out. Sin up close. Molotov could be good as well, especially for information and to keep them at bay.
Yeah, looking good to me here. Smoke going to go down by some more time and space, although... Oh, that's really nice. I was going to say that's not going to land, is it? But no, that is quite a nice smoke. The CS2 mechanics. Sin knows his stuff. Creeping around for a bit more of a fight, though. This is the only real area that they could be going right now. And, yep, he's read it beautifully. Almost a double kill. Wreck opts to drop back and play things safe. However, we know the damage done is enough. 3 versus 2. And they are combined at 43. You know, it's really not a good move. They're going to give it a go. No real option to save, they feel. And immediately flattened there for 11.
Good work. Def looks pretty chill. Just having a little stretch, I'm sure. Not feeling too much pressure now that you're building up quite the repertoire. You're 3 rounds ahead of Sharks and their map pick. Only 2 rounds away from taking it as well. Some slightly messy fights, but all in all, M80 winning these rounds and breaking the econ is all that matters. Run boost being set up potentially? Maybe. On the angle, Swisher just looking for a pixel to work with. And he'll get it. Oh, and he'll get it. Absolutely. It's Doc flying around. That run boost working well. Recalan's back. Flash gonna come over as well as he wants to refight, reface. He knows the buy isn't great. Try and make the most of it, but they've been given the luxury of a cross. Wreck trying to hold the line, hold them at bay. The pistol's getting space and biting back. Nade on the corner, on towards default. The last man at Gen. And it's DRG. M4 in a 1v3. Swing is good. We'll find his running low on ammo, but given the luxury of a reload. Hang on a second. The chance is opening up here. Looking for the bomb. We'll get it. I'm going to try and get it down. 1v1, surely not. slaxz is tagged down low, and he missed his shot as well. He's going to win another 1v3. How have they done that? An eco by Sharks, and a terrible round to lose if you're M80. And Kochi is getting loud, standing up, staring them down. and letting them know that Sharks are far from dead.
Man alive. Oh, M80, they might look back on that round. In this entire series, to be fair. Yeah, those types are really difficult to lose and ultimately shouldn't be losing them. DRG, though, you have to hand it to him. Played it very, very well. Not an easy angle for him to work with there. He indeed makes it work. So, a small timeout being taken, I believe. Def also on his feet here. A big game, you know. There are stakes here. There are some bragging rights here for sure. Have to prove on the M80 side of things that you can win this if you want to be at the top of your region. The South American teams do bleed over into the North American teams. Scrim partners, etc. So we'll see. M80 still able to buy, but it looks rough.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the... It's not the nicest, but at the same time, it's one of those salvageable buys. If you play Ice and Aggro in your face, you can kind of make these ones stick, and Swisher's doing exactly that. I don't hate this. Wreck. As that smoke's fading as well. This moment might be caught, though. We'll get us one. They're not going to clear him close. MP9 getting active. Is the AWP up close? Oh, but it's tagged down low. Swing him. You know you want to. They're fighting the fight. Only one man left. And DRG's got to pull off a bit of a miracle here in an ace clutch.
Big response out from M80. Down he goes, and they prove that maybe they are indeed the favorites on this map with a response like that. You know, you've just lost a very, very silly round, and it can get in your head. It can kind of just deflate you, really, if you let it. And they've obviously not let it. Really well responded.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So, at a 12-9 scoreline, 3 map points to work with. And unfortunately for Sharks, to make matters worse on your own map pick, things not going well, you're down to a triple Tech 9, a Glil, and an AK, and slaxz got the right idea. DRG could be in trouble. Bye-bye, good night. Down he goes, and Tog's not close enough to trade. Spacing wasn't quite there. So he'll pick up the gun, and he'll basically just dip. But he's actually double dipping into the fight. This might work against him. Flash missed, and his leg spotted, so slaxz just now aware.
Sharks feeling the pressure in this round, definitely after losing that opener. Looking for a late B burst. It was actually an area that they had great success in against Vitality, so maybe that is part of the logic here. I'm going to try and contact. Oh, it's risky, man. It's very risky. Rek going to find a head. Swisher out at back 90, looking pretty good here. They will take him down. And they have indeed eliminated the site itself, but just not enough in the end. They will not break into the B-bomb site. They will not best M80 on Vertigo, and a big, big steal from M80 as well. Looking very, very good here. I think, you know, they play like winners. They've done their work on that map, and Sharks now have to go into the second, facing off against Mirage.